Castle Underground, Lost Wawel. Overview of Wawel Castle Underground and its historical significance. Wawel Castle, perched atop Wawel Hill in Krakow, Poland, is one of the most iconic historical sites in the country. While the castle's majestic exterior and Renaissance architecture draw countless visitors, the underground sections hold equally captivating stories, offering a unique glimpse into Poland's layered past. The underground of Wawel Castle consists of a network of archaeological sites, chambers and pathways that date back to the earliest settlements on Wawel Hill. Excavations have revealed evidence of human presence as far back as the 10th century, when the area served as a stronghold of the Piast dynasty, the first ruling dynasty of Poland. The subterranean routes include remnants of early medieval buildings, stone foundations, and artifacts such as pottery, tools and weapons that reflect everyday life from the early Polish state. One of the most significant underground attractions is the Lost Wawel exhibition. This display leads visitors through preserved ruins and reconstructed elements of Romanesque and Gothic architecture, including a 10th century rotunda and remnants of the royal kitchens and earlier castle walls. These underground sections illustrate the transition of Wawel from a tribal center to a royal residence and political hub of the Polish kingdom. The historical significance of Wawel's underground lies in its ability to physically connect different eras of Polish history. From the tribal past to the flourishing Renaissance period under King Sigismund the Old, these foundations tell the story of Poland's growth, cultural exchanges, and resilience through periods of war, partition, and occupation. They provide crucial context for understanding Wawel not just as a royal castle, but as a living document of Poland's national identity. Additionally, the underground chambers have served various purposes over centuries, including as storerooms, escape passages, and shelters during sieges. Their preservation and public access today symbolize a reclaiming and honoring of Poland's deep historical roots. In essence, the underground of Wawel Castle is more than an archaeological curiosity. It is a silent archive of Polish sovereignty, creativity, and endurance. It bridges the past and present, inviting visitors to step into the depths of history and witness the foundations of a nation. The purpose of the Wawel Underground exhibition. Hidden beneath centuries of history, this immersive journey was not created simply to display artifacts. It was designed with a deeper, more resonant purpose, to connect modern visitors with the very roots of Polish identity. As visitors descend into the dimly lit corridors beneath the castle, they aren't just walking through a museum, they're stepping into the layers of time. The exhibition's purpose is to bring the past to life by revealing the foundations of royal chambers, remnants of ancient settlements, and the everyday objects of people long gone. It tells the story of how Wawel Hill evolved from a tribal stronghold to the beating heart of a kingdom. But more than just archaeology, the Wawel Underground exhibition is a narrative of power, culture, and continuity. It highlights the architectural transformations of the castle, the influence of European styles, and the lives of monarchs who shaped the nation's fate. Through this journey, the exhibition fosters a sense of pride and connection, reminding each visitor that Poland's legacy is not just written in books, but etched into the very stone beneath their feet. Excavations beneath Wawel Hill. Archaeological excavations at Wawel began in earnest in the early 20th century and have continued periodically since then. The most extensive work was carried out in the post-war years, particularly during renovations of the royal castle and cathedral. These excavations were aimed not only at preserving the historical architecture, but also at uncovering what lay beneath the surface. Archaeologists dug deep into the layers of soil beneath Wawel and were met with extraordinary finds. Stratigraphic studies helped researchers create a timeline of habitation and development, with each layer telling its own story of human occupation. The most significant discoveries can be grouped into three main categories: early medieval buildings, a diverse array of artifacts, and burial sites. Remnants of early medieval buildings. One of the most groundbreaking aspects of the excavations beneath Wawel Hill was the discovery of early medieval architectural remains. These included foundations of wooden and stone buildings that dated as far back as the 9th and 10th centuries, centuries before the formal establishment of the Kingdom of Poland in 1025. Among the architectural features uncovered were timber post structures. These were likely early dwellings or utility buildings used by the first settlers on the hill. Their simple construction suggests a community organized around practical living rather than ceremonial grandeur. Stone foundations. Some of the stone-built structures, including walls and floors, pointed to more complex building techniques. These may have been the forerunners of the later castle complex. Church ruins. Particularly notable was the discovery of the rotunda of St. Felix and Adauctus. This circular church, believed to date back to the 10th century, is among the oldest stone churches in Poland. Its existence indicates that Wawel was not only a political center, but also a religious one during the early Piast dynasty. These early building remnants provided concrete evidence of an organized settlement at Wawel, long before it became the capital of the Polish state. The architectural complexity also challenged previous assumptions that the region's early medieval inhabitants lacked advanced construction capabilities. In addition to structural remains, archaeologists unearthed thousands of artifacts that offer a window into the everyday lives of early Wawel residents. Pottery shards. Dating from various periods, these pieces ranged from simple utilitarian ware to more decorative ceramics. Their styles indicated trade and cultural exchanges with other Slavic tribes, and possibly even Norse or Byzantine communities. Iron tools and weapons. Items such as knives, arrowheads, axes, and farming implements pointed to both domestic life and the community's defense needs. The presence of weapons suggested that the area was not only inhabited, but also fortified against potential threats. Jewelry and personal items, beads, brooches, belt buckles, and rings provided insight into the aesthetics and personal adornment practices of early medieval people. Some of these items displayed intricate craftsmanship, indicating a high level of skill and possibly the presence of workshops or artisan guilds. Coins. Several coins, some originating from foreign lands, were found in the excavated layers. These discoveries provided evidence of trade networks and economic activity, reinforcing the idea that Wawel was a hub of regional importance. These artifacts helped paint a fuller picture of early medieval life on Wawel Hill, illustrating the presence of a dynamic, interconnected community with a diverse cultural and economic life. Impact on historical understanding. The discoveries beneath Wawel Hill dramatically altered the historical narrative of the site. Prior to these excavations, much of the understanding of Wawel's early history was based on written chronicles and legends, which were often ambiguous or exaggerated. The archaeological findings provided hard evidence that supported, clarified, and in some cases, contradicted those earlier accounts. Some of the key impacts include establishing pre-Polish origins. The excavations confirmed that Wawel Hill was inhabited well before the formal establishment of the Polish state. This suggests that Wawel's importance was rooted in its geography and long-standing human presence, rather than solely its political function. Challenging the timeline of Christianization. The discovery of early churches and Christian burials prior to the official baptism of Poland in 966 hinted that Christian practices may have been introduced earlier or spread more gradually than previously thought. Revealing cultural diversity. The artifacts demonstrated that Wawel was not a closed society, but rather one that engaged with surrounding cultures through trade, warfare, and migration. This finding reshaped perceptions of early Polish culture as being more cosmopolitan than previously imagined. Understanding urban development. The layered nature of the finds helped scholars trace how Wawel evolved from a tribal stronghold to a fortified city and eventually a royal capital. This continuous development provided a unique case study in urban and architectural evolution. The archaeological excavations beneath Wawel Hill have revealed a hidden chapter in Poland's history, one that predates written records and challenges long-held assumptions.